Signal lamps flash red, amber, green, but the rules were different for everyone. For some, green meant halt. For others, it meant, well, stop. This is 1916, before any universal traffic signals. The result was natural. Massive gridlock. Drivers honking their horns continuously, and angry people making all sorts of gestures at each other. It's where New York City's traffic culture came to life. And all the while, some poor officer was up in the booth, pulling the levers all day, with sweat trickling down his brow as angry drivers passed by. And yet, this manual traffic tower was the start of something. A universal language. Something that's pretty much the same in any country you visit today. Red means stop. Green means go. And yellow means, well, let's just say that one is up for interpretation. To really understand New York City's traffic evolution, we need to rewind to a time when the streets were wild. In the late 1800s, Broadway was a battleground of carriages, wagons, and runaway horses. The NYPD had to create the Broadway Squad, a team of 6-foot-tall giants whose sole job was to help pedestrians cross the street. But they weren't traffic controllers. They were human shields. Then came the bicycles in the 1890s with a new problem: speed demons zipping through the streets. Theodore Roosevelt, the NYPD police commissioner at the time, formed the Scorcher Squad. They were a bunch of grown men on bicycles who had to out-pedal reckless cyclists to give them a ticket. But soon, their job expanded to include ticketing a new toy of the wealthy, the automobile. At that time, New York City streets were mostly unpaved, and pedestrians had to cut through mud, dust, and horse manure to get to the other side. The advent of the subway in 1904 provided some relief, but with 38,000 cars clogging the city's streets by 1912, chaos ensued. Then, as you know, the first traffic tower emerged. It hovered about 16 feet over the intersection of 5th Avenue and 42nd Street. But the problem became clear. Drivers from different towns had different meanings for each color. Drivers heading north on Madison Avenue would often find themselves ticketed for passing a green light. But to them, green lights meant go. But those weren't the original rules. More on that in a second. The key problem with the towers, besides the confusion, was the cost. Each tower cost the city $200,000. That's about $3.6 million in today's dollars, per tower. Now multiply that across the entire city, then add the cost to staff officers in each tower for every hour of the day. You get the point. They needed a better solution. In 1920, New York City began experimenting with automated traffic signals. They started by installing signals with just 2 lights, green for go and clear or white for stop. But white lights were confusing since many other streetlights used the same color, leading to frequent accidents. This chaos continued until 1924, when the city adopted the standardized red for stop, green for go system. Weird enough, it was actually a physician that led the charge on this change. Dr. John A. Harris eventually became the first commissioner of traffic for the city, and he's the one we have to thank for implementing the system of automated lights we know of today. Each traffic light was synchronized using a system of timers and relays connected to a central control center, allowing traffic engineers to adjust the timing of lights to match traffic conditions. This green wave effect made it possible for drivers to travel long stretches without stopping, provided they maintained the speed limit. The synchronized signals also played a pivotal role in alleviating traffic congestion caused by the opening of major infrastructure projects like the Holland Tunnel in 1927 and the George Washington Bridge in 1931. By 1934, the Westside Highway was complete, with the Lincoln Tunnel and Queens Midtown Tunnel not far behind. The Triborough Bridge connected Manhattan, Queens, and the Bronx. All of these fed unprecedented numbers of vehicles into Manhattan's streets. Automated traffic lights proved essential. But when they were first installed, these lights were not hung overhead. Instead, they erected posts on the corners of the street. It wasn't until the mid-20th century that traffic lights began to take the overhead placement we're accustomed to seeing today. Then in 1962, we had another major development: traffic enforcement agents. These traffic cops were called meter maids, mainly because they were an all-female squad dressed in blue. In 1966, men joined the team, and their uniforms changed to brown, earning them the nickname Brownies. By 1996, TEAs had merged with the NYPD. They handled everything from blocking the box infractions to delivering babies. Yes, you heard that right. In fact, traffic enforcement agents are the city's eyes and ears. During the 9/11 attack, it was a traffic agent who was first to call in the plane flying too low. But enough on traffic agents. There's one last update that the city has rolled out that might make a difference to you, and no, it's not about congestion pricing. You see, in 2018, the New York Police Department unveiled a pilot program for the adaptive traffic signal. These are traffic signals equipped with real-time vehicle detection sensors. They're basically a smart light. They're supposed to adjust the timing of red and green lights based on traffic flow. But as a New Yorker, I can't say I felt like traffic has gotten better. Still, it's nice to know that someone is working on solutions that don't involve congestion pricing. Hey guys, this is Nick from The Curious New Yorker, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching.